So I'm here today making a video on how to save money in college and also how I pay for college on my own. So as you know, there's multiple ways to pay for college. You can either pay for it out of your own pocket or your parents' pocket if they can afford it. You can pay for it through scholarships, through grants, and then of course through loans. For me personally, I pay for my own college through my own money and through student loans. I get a little bit of help from my parents, but it's mainly all through myself, and I don't have a lot of financial aid, so I usually just have to pay for my college through student loans. So my first thing I'd like to say is like college is the best investment you can make, if college is right for you, of course. So if you want to go to college and you're like, well, I don't know if I should take out the loans for it, I don't know if it's worth the money, it's worth it. So last year I used student loans to pay for my tuition and my housing, and this year I only use student loans to pay for my tuition, and the housing, which is actually more expensive than tuition for me, I pay for on my own. So student loans, I'm already deep in student loan debt. I have like, I don't know, $25,000 in loans in total. Student loans suck. I mean, yeah, like it sucks to have to take out money and have to borrow money. I think student loans is a good option. It's a good last resort. I know a lot of my friends don't have to worry about paying for college. And so if you are like just now applying into college, or you're like considering like what colleges to go to, definitely just think about like where you think you stand on that scale. Are you like really good in your class? Do you think you have a chance of getting a full ride scholarship? Like, do you have really good grades? For me personally, I knew that I wasn't gonna get a big scholarship just because I barely even got into UT in the first place, and that's a whole different story. You're not gonna be able to pay for it on your own, or if your parents are not gonna pay for it for you, and you know you're not gonna get a full ride scholarship, then you need to start applying for scholarships. Scholarships are really good because it's free money, obviously. Scholarships are either awarded through merit, through need-based, through a million different things, and I applied for quite a few scholarships going into my freshman year of college, and I got awarded a couple, and it was like maybe around like $2,000 in total, or $3,000 that I got awarded, and that was really great. But scholarships that are outside of your school are typically a lot smaller, and they're typically only gonna like be a small dent in your total school fees. And another great option for free money for paying for school is a grant. You usually get a financial aid package, and you'll get a grant if they feel like you need it to help pay for your school. As I'm sure a lot of you guys know, if your parents' income is a certain amount, if you're not considered low income, you're kind of a lesser priority to your school as far as giving away free money. So for me personally, like I file my FAFSA every single year, which is something that everyone should do regardless of how much money your parents make. But I file my FAFSA and I don't get much back because of my parents' income, and so therefore I don't get many grants, or I don't like getting a full ride scholarship isn't really something that I get. So you have to think about, if your parents make a lot, you're probably not going to get a lot from your school. Don't rely on just because your parents don't pay for your school, or choosing not to pay for your school, it doesn't mean your school is going to help you. And that's one thing that sucks, because for me personally, there's no way to put that on my FAFSA. Like, there's no way to put like, my parents are helping me pay for school, so like give me money. Like, they don't care. I take out student loans to cover my tuition, but I pay for rent on my own. I'm able to pay for my own rent because I went over the summer and I got my real estate license. So currently I work as a real estate agent in Austin, and I help students find housing, and it took like basically the whole summer. But once I got my license, I was able to start showing apartments, and then whenever someone signed a lease, I would get a commission from that lease, and those commissions are usually pretty big. They're like around $500 per lease almost, and so that's how I was able to save up money, and that's how I'm able to pay for my own rent right now. I also work a second job, so I work as like a valet downtown. It's just like a chill, like little hourly job. I worked all throughout high school, and I would always spend my paychecks. Like, I never thought like, oh, I should save because I'm gonna have to pay for college soon. I didn't really think that much through it. Like, I worked for maybe 2 or 3 years in high school, and I only had like $1,000 saved up. And that might sound like a lot to some people, but in reality, $1,000 is like basically like my rent. So I didn't really save up a lot in high school. So I started saving up money more and more, and I stopped spending money, like my paychecks, on things that I didn't need. So if you're working at all, then I would always suggest saving half of your paycheck, if not more, if you can save more. Save half your paycheck and put that into a savings account so you don't touch it. My advice for paying for college is to hustle. Like, if you know you have to pay for college on your own, there's always ways to make money. There's always options. You don't have to go get your real estate license, but there's always people who are looking to hire students. You can always do a job, and you don't even have to just work at like a retail place or a restaurant. You can work at, you can do anything. You can hustle. You can, like, I don't know, start your own little business, sell bundles. You can, I don't know, go walk dogs for people. My best friend, she nannies for a professor and she gets paid so much. I sometimes complain about the fact that I have to pay for my own school, but honestly, it's taught me a lot, and it's allowed me to be independent since the moment I got into college, and honestly, even before that. You kind of just have to decide for yourself, like, how much do you want to work and grind in college to pay for college on your own, and how much do you want to give to student loans. So I kind of try to balance it, and like other things you might have to pay for through student loans, like for example, I'm studying abroad and I'm using student loans to pay for that, and to me that's okay because that's an experience that I'll just be paying for later, and I don't think I'll regret that. Like, yeah, it's something I'm gonna have to tackle eventually, but you can tackle it like month by month. You don't have to pay off all your student loans at once. Like, the number that I owe in student loans right now is scary, but it's just something that's gonna be a bill later, and just something I'm gonna allocate for later. Like, instead of buying a fancy new car as soon as I get my first job outside of college, I'm gonna worry about paying off my student loans first. You just have to be disciplined. If you're a major where you're not really guaranteed a job right outside of college, and that's something to definitely think about. Is student loans worth it if you don't know if you're gonna get hired right away as like whatever major you are? And if you're like me and you're paying for college on your own, money is probably like one of the biggest things that stresses me out. But at the end of the day, like, it's doable. So like, you have to just put everything in God's hands and know that He will help take care of you, and everything will be okay. Like, you'll be able to pay for college. And if you're really like considering not going to college, or if you don't think that you can afford it, student loans is always, always, always an option. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope these tips really helped, and I hope that you guys are saving your money and being smart about it. Thank you.